Hi Gemini, welcome to Spiritualista. This is your weekly energy forecast from the 6th until the 12th of October. This is a general reading, so it may or may not resonate with everybody. However, if you'd like a personalized deep dive reading, the link to my Etsy shop is below. And now, let's see what the universe has in store for you guys this week. So Gemini, please tap into Gemini's energy from the 6th until the 12th of October. Let's see here, Gemini. Oh, quick one, the moon. So that's your present moment card, the moon. Okay. There's some omission there going on. Something very unspoken right now in your energy. And I think it's to do with a connection, just right off the bat. I'm getting these intuitive messages about I haven't even pulled any other card right now, but I feel that it's about a connection, and I feel that it's not just you, but I feel that it is affecting you in a way that you are having to admit yourself. You don't want to, but you're kind of being forced to in a way. That's what I'm feeling here. There's some build-up tension going on here where you don't feel safe to express yourself with this person because you're scared that something might happen if you do. And you are picking up on them too, not being entirely open about a situation here. And that in turn is sort of spreading to your energy as well, where you're not being able to be that. All right, so we have the Knight of Cups as your crossing or your challenge for this week. And then we have your crowning. So the top of your mind, the Three of Wands, has been coming a lot this week, this card, from many signs. So there's lots of just waiting right now, lots of anticipation energy for you guys. And see, again, with the Two of Wands here in your foundation, so both in your crowning and your foundation, you're waiting for something to come in. You're waiting for some clarity here. And we have the Magician in your recent past. So you've been in a powerful mode there. Lots of manifestation energy going on. You've been creating something, and that's, I think, you're waiting for the results of that right now. And the Hangman. Very interesting. That's your near future. So quite the opposite energy of the Magician. Still a very spiritual card, but it's way more about being a little bit suspended. Of course, he's hanging, like being in a limbo, being okay with just taking a break and pausing and just shifting your perspective a little bit so that you can get to see things more clearly. As you're definitely not doing that right now, especially with the moon there. All right, so suggested approach to Knight of Wands. That's your advice from the universe. And then your surrounding energies. And what you need to know is the Seven of Swords and your hopes and fears. Ooh, nice. So we have the Ten of Cups there. And then we have your, I was going to say bottom of the deck. Definitely not the bottom of the deck. We have the Ace of Swords there as your potential future. And now to the bottom of the deck. Nice. High Priestess. So you're getting there. You're getting there. You're becoming more connected to yourself. You're becoming more tuned in to the subtle energy shifts and things. And I think it is to do because you are living in a space right now where there's not much communication happening, which is creating confusion for you, especially as a Gemini, because you are all about communication. So now you're going to have to enter this more intuitive mode. Since things are not being spoken, then you have to sort of listen within for those answers and see those little shifts in energy and body language and try and pick up and read the energy of the other person through those means instead. So that's what the High Priestess is telling me. But let's find out more about this. So yeah, let's get into it. So Gemini, we start your spread with the moon. All right, so moon. Things are a little bit hazy right now for you guys. Something like you're not sure about something. There's something that's hidden. It's a little bit of a mission with that energy here. So I mean, some of you could say like, yeah, I mean, that's why I'm watching tarot, right? But I don't see tarot in that sense. I see it more like almost when I was a kid and I used to read like those free newspapers. And then in the last page, there was the astrology section. So I see this more as a little bit of advice, something that you can do, listen to every week or watch to get the general scope of the overall energies and what's happening in your life. So it's not really that. It's a little bit stronger than that. So definitely you're navigating some sort of, it's uncertainty here. And could be a little bit mixed signals too, especially when it comes to connection here with the Knight of Cups. So Feels like your imagination is doing a lot of work right now just to try and fill in the gaps to get some clarity on what this is, you know. And there could be lots of wishful thinking here too, and which is likely a little bit fear-based here. So just make sure to, yeah, keep your intuition online for this week. And when I say fear-based, I mean that if for example, this is about a connection, right, which I do feel here, then you're likely not getting the results that you want or not getting the answers that you want from this person. So you're having to create stories in your mind about what this actually is, likely to protect yourself because you're fearful that it might not be the case, right? And this person maybe doesn't have feelings for you. So you're kind of having to be in like this sort of like, yeah, it's a hazy state. It's a daydreamy state there where you're not allowing yourself to really look at other options here other than what it is that you want from this connection. So definitely there's a little bit of a lack of communication here. And I'm saying all of this because with this crossing, which is the challenge here with the Knight of Cups, like it feels like a very emotional, like personal thing here. So it feels like someone that's around you that's very charming, right? And they might even be a little bit romantic towards you, like flirty, but they're just not being straightforward, you know? And now you're just having to wonder a lot whether this is a connection that is going to be something more in the future or not. So yeah, it's unfortunate. The warning here I'm feeling very strongly is just to don't get swept up in a fantasy here and just make sure to get all the facts really clear about this. But right now you're in this period where it's just not happening, and especially like also with these two here. So you have both the Three of Wands, which I've seen a lot, and then you have the Two of Wands here, which also has been coming up a lot this week for a lot of signs. So your mind is like already kind of all the time just stretching towards the future here and envisioning the possibilities with this person. Like what's next, you know, what's next, what's going to happen? And tells me that you've already taken some steps here towards this new direction that involves this individual and planning things, you know, and really preparing to get more involved or for them to get more involved here. So this is not coming out of nowhere here. It's just that they're not expressing. They are not expressing. They're being very silent, and it's making you feel confused. And I'm not saying that they're not feeling anything here. I think that they do feel something for you here. They are giving you the little hints, you know, they are being a little bit flirty, but it's just being in very subtle ways here, when instead of they could just call you up and express their feelings, but something is kind of hindering that from happening. So yeah, I'm not going to say that it's cowardly, even though it's, now I just said it because that's what I'm thinking. It could be circumstantial, of course. It could be someone that is already in a connection with someone else. It could be a colleague, you know, it could be someone that, yeah, it's a more like forbidden type of dynamic, right? But yeah, they're not ready to step up. That's what I'm seeing here. They're not, for either one or the other reason. They're just not. But you're still picking up on their feelings for you here. And that's why you feel entangled like in this sort of secrecy energy here with the moon. Yeah, the Magician here. So that's nice. That's in your recent past. So you've been acting from your power here. You know, you've been trying to manifest this a lot and just set this in motion in lots of ways. But I think that this is what's leaving you so disappointed, because it feels like you've been efforting so much here with this card. You've been doing so much. And they're just not contributing and putting in as much energy as you have been doing. So now you're kind of feeling like you're a little bit drained here. And I think you're starting to get a little bit pissed off, to be honest, because you just want to move things. You just want, yeah, to get things along here, but you shouldn't be the one doing all the work. You have been, and this is why, like, now you're here and you're just wondering if it's worth it, you know, and when are you going to get your answers from them? And the Hanged Man there too, man, like that's in the future, like the near future. So Hanged Man is the pause, right? So that's what's ahead of you here. So it's you having to just hang back and observe, you know, so that you can get new perspectives, which is very much necessary here too. So now, like, you've been in this really active, more like masculine energy in the past. And now you're being like propelled more into this yin, this sort of waiting state here, this like holding room energy where, yeah, you're going to be more in your presence and more, I'm not going to say receptive because I'm not, yeah, they're not ready. They're not ready to give. But at the same time, you're not going to be as chasey, as intensely chasey. And that could, of course, result in either you shifting your perspective into maybe walking away from this entirely, because this is not for me. This is not something that I want. I deserve better. I deserve someone that can actually communicate, and especially as a Gemini. Or that this pause and this inaction is going to be what sets the stage for this person to actually take a step towards you here, because they're going to be in this moon energy, because now like suddenly you changed, right? Why did you change? What happened? Am I losing them? So that could be actually what, and usually is the case, that's normally how it works, that triggers an acceleration here in this individual and makes them step out of this silent mode, because now they're going to be the one needing answers here from you. So let's move on here to the Knight of Wands. So that's the suggested approach. So even with these like delays here, this is normally a card about being adventurous and like taking action and that, and like, yeah, it's a very active oriented card. It's a fire card. So, but however, in this case, it's telling me that just maintain your fire. Like don't dim your spark here. And you're gonna know when it's time to leave this. You're gonna know when the moment is right to take action again. So you can still keep that momentum alive within you, but just don't force any outcomes right now. Just don't do that. Don't do that. But you're gonna know for sure internally when the time has come. And likely it will be, like I said, either or. That's up to you to decide. If you find that this is not worth it, if it's something that, no, maybe I've been doing this for months, maybe for years, and they're just not leaving this energy here, right? So I'm not going to be entangled in this anymore. Or if you are in this pause and they decide to reach out, that's when you can start moving again. But do so very mindfully. Don't go back to this like powerful creator, masculine, chasey energy here with the Magician, almost a little bit manipulative. That's what I'm getting to. But be in your lane, be in your charisma, just like be in this fire, be very confident too, be very confident. And that's going to be helpful for you. And so we have Seven of Swords here. So your surrounding energy. So, yeah, it's like, that's also like a little bit shady. Like there's a little bit of like subtle like undercurrents around you of people just not showing their full hand. And I think it's this, right? And it's leading to these situations that have like so much missing pieces for you. So just stay very discerning in this. And I'm not saying all of this for you to be paranoid about anything, but just your intuition here, and especially with the High Priestess, we're going to talk about her because she's the underlying energy here of the spread. It's all about you staying tuned into yourself, because you're going to know. It's like chess, right? You're going to know when it's time to use this piece, what moves, right? So, but in order for you to be able to do that and play the game, for lack of better words, right, and win it, right, you need to be discerning, you need to be clever about it, and you need to be in this wisdom. And in order to get there, you need this little pause here with the Hanged Man. And so don't be worried about it. It's going to be good either way, right? And then we have the Ten of Cups. So speaking of good, and that's in your hopes and fears. So that's, of course, you're longing for this connection to work, right? You want to feel some harmony with this individual. But of course, there's a little, like, there's always some fear there. This not coming to fruition, right? And if this dream, like this version that you have with this sort of like almost daydreamy illusion that you've created, like where you've perhaps put them on a pedestal here and you're envisioning this life with this individual, but maybe you don't really know them that well. Like, what if it doesn't match that version that you created internally? Like, what if that dream doesn't match the reality when you start linking up, So there's a lot of tension here that I'm feeling between you hoping that you are right and that this fantasy is actually aligned with reality, but also there's some doubt that it isn't, And that's all part of your growth right now, so it's okay. It's an okay process to be in. And Ace of Swords there, so that's beautiful, potential future. So that means that you're going to get clarity. right? So you're going to have the breakthrough moment. You're going to have the truth. It's going to come out. And it's all going to happen after this. It's all about you getting a new perspective here. And likely it's going to be through a conversation. And it's going to be a good one. So it's going to cut through all the bullshit. Like, it's going to reveal a lot of things that haven't been revealed. So you can expect that to be happening too. And then we've already spoiled a little bit about High Priestess here. So she's the bottom. So that's your intuition, like being the undercurrent, right? And so even when things are looking really unclear for you here, your inner knowing is already telling you the truth, you know? So just trust this guidance. Like, that's a very good support card to have there. So your week is all about navigating this, right? And this uncertainty here. And without losing your vision, but still allowing your intuition to question that vision a little bit and see how aligned that is with the truth, right? And this person is still approaching you a little bit emotionally here and there and giving you lots of hope, but also, unfortunately, giving you a little bit of doubt, a little bit too much doubt. So you've been doing this, like you've been planning, you've been chasing, right? You've been, in this very active energy. So now the universe wants you to just take a little temporary pause here and just hold on a little bit, but still keep your charisma, keep your fire. Watch out for this here. Watch out for sneakiness and manipulation energy. And just trust that you're going to get your truth. And you're going to get your clarity here with Ace of Swords. So that's going to arrive. So not concerned about you. But this week is going to be all about this. So just be reminded that your intuition already knows. Your soul already knows the shape of what's coming. And you've already signed up for it in a sense. So it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And I'm rooting for you guys. And that's all I have for you today, Gemini. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that this reading resonated. And if so, please make sure to give it a like and let me know in the comments below which part resonated the most with you. And don't forget to subscribe for your weekly energy forecast. Okay, bye!